Taila Santos was speaking ahead of her fight coming up next Thursday. And, Tyler was just kind of going into different things, of course, about her fight, but looking at how Dakota Ditcheva is, the co-main, and she's fighting the loser of the fight between her and the winner of the fight, who she's facing, So I'm just kind of read through the article here and kind of go through what Taila Santos had to say. This was from Cage Side. So if y'all want to check it out, I'll try to post a link later because I've got it on my phone. What's up, Robot Chicken? He said Kopolov got it done. Yeah, man. I'm happy for him. I was happy for him. He got it done. He got some good work in as far as groundwork, takedowns, a little bit of, everything in that fight. I know some people started booing in the crowd, but I was glad that he, started working on his ground game in that fight. It was good work. All right, so as y'all know, Taila Santos is fighting Jenna Bishop June 13th. This is that PFL 4 card. And let's see, Taila Santos, going by their ranking, she's ranked number 2. Bishop is ranked number 3. And of course, Dakota Ditcheva, she's ranked number 1 based on their whole point system, right? So with the number 1, Dakota Ditcheva, she's fighting Chelsea Hackett, who's number 7, who got finished by the number 3, Jenna Bishop, right? I know. That makes a lot of sense, don't it? I know, Mark, you understand that, right? It makes a lot of sense what I just said, right? Dakota, she locked in number 1, but I'm just saying, like, I wonder how they choose that. I know it was a finish, but like, what makes her finish better than Tyler's? I'm just saying, like, Tyler had a pretty good finish against Lara Yawani. I thought Lara Yawani was a little bit more considered dangerous, more seasoned than Chelsea Hackett. So I thought finishing Lara Yawani would be a little bit, first round finish, I thought that'd be a little bit more impressive than finishing. I'm just saying, I don't care. They're both number 1 and number 2, right? But Tyler feels a little different about it. All right, so Taila Santos, let's see. That's what I thought, BJ. Lara Yawani is a better finish than Dakota's Chelsea Hackett. I like Chelsea Hackett, but Brian said, you know why? Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm. I know. I'm just trying to make some sense of it, like outside of what they're trying to pull. Like they ain't fooling me. They ain't fooling you. They ain't fooling anybody here, right? All right. So Taila Santos says, if the matchmaking was done in a way where everybody that has the points fights, whoever has the least amount of points, okay, that's fair. Right? Everybody has the most points. Everybody has the least amount. Okay, that's fair. The problem is everybody else that earns 6 points or most points are facing each other. And she's the only one that isn't. She's the only one that is getting someone that got finished in the first round. So, shout out to Jenna Bishop. She's also one that kind of finds that strange too. She's not the only one. So, everybody looking like, even the fighters in this organization, they kind of looking at how this tournament is done, right? So it's not just me. It's not just me. So it ain't me hating, or it ain't me just wondering. Like, it's no hate towards Dakota, because I find her entertaining, but it's just weird. Like she's saying, you had what? You have an even number to pair up of winners. So like Tyler said it herself, she's like, look, the problem is everybody that earns 6 points or the most points are facing each other. Tyler's fighting Bishop, right? Liz Carmouche is fighting Kana Watanabe. They both won their fights. And Yawani is fighting Shanna Young. Yeah, loser versus loser. And oh yeah, just so y'all know, Sumiko Naba's back. She's back in there too. She's fighting a new signee, but Caitlin Neal ain't nowhere to be found, BJ. PFL giving Dakota that Caitlin Clark treatment. Oh boy, he said it. He said it. He said it before. Oh man, Brian said it before I could. Ooh, wow, Brian crazy. He already called it. L said, yeah, I'd be pissed if I was in $1 million tournament and another contestant was obviously getting preferential treatment. Right. Yeah, man. That's all it is. Like, the fighter's going to notice that. Jenna Bishop, she noticed it too, because, Jenna Bishop, she's been working hard too. Like, she's been fighting some hard fights. She's been fighting, LFA, Bellator, and she's undefeated. Her undefeated record, I can tell you right now, it's not a pushover type of record either. She's been getting that work in. So whenever a fighter like that I hear from, and he says, why am I not headlining here? Why is Tyler not headlining? It's kind of weird. But yeah, like I said, that's the problem. All these fighters are fighting each other. She's the only one that's got someone that's got finished in the first round, man. And she said, it is there for anyone to, she said it's there for anybody to see. You can judge the way that you want to, but it's right there. I don't know how Dakota feels about it. This is Tyler speaking. I don't know how Dakota feels about it, but if it was me getting that push, that extra little bit of help, I would be a little bit ashamed because everybody is grinding their way to the top and she's almost getting a bye, like she's getting a bypass. But that's not up to me to discuss. If that's what the promotion wants to do, okay, that's the image that they want to show the fans. See? Like fighters are going to notice this. Fighters are going to notice this, especially if they've been around in the game for a while. This ain't their first rodeo, especially, Taila Santos. She already felt a certain way about the UFC not giving her enough fights. I know there could have been some visa issues here and there, but who knows what else was out there, right, for her? Who knows what other offers they weren't giving her at the time. So, Tyler already been over there before. And she knows how it is. So coming over here, and her husband is helping her manage, they kind of looking at it like, all right, we're the former UFC fighter. And then, Liz Carmouche. Like, Liz Carmouche ain't necessarily had too hard of fights yet either. She is fighting a winner, but she fighting somebody she already beat before. Kind of Watanabe, right? Right. So Liz Carmouche, Bellator champ, former UFC fighter, even herself, like the veteran, she's not really getting sold as the main attraction here. So, they probably are looking at it like that. I mean, obviously, right? I didn't even read this second paragraph today. I just read the first one, but I read it and Tyler saying the same thing I was thinking, like, but a fighter, what's up, Brian? I mean, Paul, what's going on, man? But to Dakota, I don't think with her it's something to feel ashamed of. I don't think she's gonna feel ashamed of it like that because she still feel like she putting in the hard work, and she is, like training is still hard work. The training is still hard work behind the scenes. She's still working hard. She's still doing what she having to do. But when you actually get into the cage and the opponent that you're facing isn't like the biggest test, and then giving you that chance to really, really use your skills, I guess even then you would be kind of blinded, right? I mean, you would probably know. You would have to know because when they throw the opponent at you and say, okay, June 13th, Dakota, this is who you fighting, you would say, why am I fighting Chelsea Hackett? Why am I fighting Chelsea Hackett instead of Jenna? I thought Jenna won. That'd be like over in the UFC, say, if let's say, okay, let's say in the UFC, let's say after Manon beat Aaron Blanchfield, right? Manon has to fight Viviane Araújo next instead of getting the title shot. And she was just like, okay with that. No, she wouldn't be okay with that, right? Like she'd be, oh, where's my title shot at? Right? Because that's what she's saying now. I'm ready for a title shot, after all these wins, right? So there comes a point when you like, you're taking what they give you because that's how this company runs too. They pushing her as the it girl. They pushing her as that it fighter, because that's what they doing. It's still an organization like a TV show. They say this is their star. Sadly, that's how it's still looked at. I mean, for us as hardcore fans of like actual combat sports, we like, I want to see the best fighting the best, but there's still a level of entertainment that they're trying to balance. But it's not really that balanced here, because if the fighters are calling it out, then they're not really seeing the balance, right? I hope y'all will follow me here. Like that's the example I have to use. Is like, okay, Macy Barber. Let's say if she beats Rose this weekend, and she's, we all know, okay, she's gonna have to fight up now. But if they continue to give her somebody like 5 spaces down, you'd be like, why is she getting this person that lost? Why is she fighting Andrea Lee, who lost to Natalia Silver or something like that, right? We questioned it over there, but over here it's like this tournament is set up different. Like every tournament I ever seen, from boxing tournaments to the tough house tournaments. Like how would that be in the tough house right now if the guy, I can't remember his name, that just won on Valentina's team last night. What if he has to fight the loser of next Tuesday? Like, what kind of logic is that? Air Mike, what's up, man? He said this time I'm on time, right? You about 30 minutes late. You 30 minutes late, but that's all right. I'm not done yet. Brian said, don't nobody care about Dakota's feelings. BJ said Dakota feels threatened. Bellator champion, UFC title challenger, hurt hunting her down. Yeah, they ready, man. Marcus said these fighters. Hold on here. Marcus said these fighters are trying to say that Dakota has fought every can on aisle 5. Man, she done had the pork and beans. She had the Campbell soup. She had the Hormel's chili. She had the generic brands. No, I'm just playing, man. Let me see. Marcus started this can business now. She didn't even have name brand cans. That's what I'm saying. She no, man, look. These are good fighters. These are good fighters on the level that she's fighting. But as far as how they're pushing it, that's what I'm talking about. All right. That's how I'm talking about it right now. I'm saying like where Tyler's coming from is, if we're winning fights, why are we having to fight hard fights, but she's fighting the easier fight? Like, shouldn't she feel some type of way? And again, I mean, whenever there's $1 million on the line, I don't know if she's gonna necessarily question it, right? Maybe she feels like Dakota did say in her other interview, she's like, oh, you get this $1 million and then anything's possible after that. It might try to jump over to the UFC at some point, and then that's where she might feel like she can. Maybe right now she want to go ahead and get this $1 million, then pull like a Kayla Harrison, then jump over to 125 UFC, and then really like show all out, let it all out. But she's got some fights here now where we'll be able to see it, and I know this ain't a fight that we really think is a big threat. Shout out to Easy. I think Easy believes that Chelsea Hackett does have a big chance. It might beat Dakota, but I don't know. Because Dakota still has like I said, like a killer instinct. She still fights for killer instinct. Oh, Walter Bell with the 20 spot. I appreciate you. He said always my support. I appreciate that, man. Thanks. I do it for the fans and for the fighters. Because these fighters, they need somebody talking about them, they say, right? And y'all want to hear somebody talking about them. So here I am. So thanks again, Walter. Six said at this point, a fighter's career, nothing makes sense but money and marketability. In other words, if you don't make money, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Right? Yeah. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Dakota just hasn't been tested yet, but fighting lesser competition in order to get ready for that higher level isn't helping. Air might say, I like Dakota, but right now I'm convinced Tyler would make her cry herself to sleep. Yeah. Real quick, like Marcus said, though, yeah, I don't think, that's definitely not going to help. Fighting lesser competition, we know that. That's definitely not going to help. And definitely going to help the promotion as far as her brand and getting her closer to a meal. But if the UFC is the final goal, then yeah, Chelsea Hackett fight is not going to be that. Either the Tyler fight or Jenna Bishop fight would do that. And I'll tell you right now, man, like I said, if Dakota does dominate a fight like Taila Santos, okay, we'll talk. We definitely have to talk now. We definitely going to have to talk now. That's a new threat, not in the UFC, but I understand where Tyler's coming from because she's being vocal about it. Because let's see, she said that's the thing. I think Dakota needed to defend herself to some extent, and that's why she tried to. I guess Aaron was the only target she could find. Oh, okay, when she responded to her, right? Yeah, because she said, let's be honest, she never fought anybody to the level of Aaron. That's just reality. Dakota might be very good, but she might get to the top at some point, but she's still untested. The people that she fought so far, still nobody that is really at a level where you can say, okay, this girl is for real and she's going to be a champion. All right. Yeah, even on that, like I remember she did say something about her losing to Aaron, but Aaron, man, like Aaron younger than all of them, and Aaron got to the UFC, man, like real quick. That's how early on in her career, like Aaron was that dangerous, and then Aaron, racks up a good resume along the way, fighting different styles and all in the UFC. So losing to Aaron is nothing to be ashamed of for Taila Santos. Losing to her definitely didn't make me say, oh, Tyler's some type of can, or oh, Tyler is exposed. No, losing to Aaron says a lot about her. So yeah, it's just a level thing. It's just a level thing. And, I think Tyler's just speaking her mind like a lot of us have seen. Whenever it's not necessarily the fighter, because I'm sure Dakota would fight whoever they put in front of her. But I understand that Tyler's saying, oh, okay, yeah, like I wonder how she feels about this, because she talking about me losing to Aaron, but like, how do you feel fighting the loser while I fight the winner come Thursday, right? And that's all I'm saying too. Like, I agree with her on that. Like, I'm sure again, this ain't no knock to Dakota's heart, because Dakota's tough and she's fighting. And if they give her that fight, she'll fight him. I'm sure she will. But until then, I'm just telling you, I think Dakota just needs to be a little bit more proven. Whenever she does beat one of these girls like Liz or Tyler, then yeah, I'm gonna definitely say this girl's a threat. Yeah, I see. I remember that fight, Marcus. Chelsea Hackett. She did lose to Victoria Leonardo by finish, right? She got finished like a couple years ago. Chelsea Hackett's the only name on Dakota's resume that I recognize. Okay. I think Chelsea Hackett will give Dakota a run for her money in terms of striking, but the reach difference, man, the difference in versatility too. I think Chelsea would be a deluxe jobber, in my opinion. Yeah, I still think, Chelsea's definitely a good Muay Thai fighter, good skill set, but I think with the way Dakota's evolving with her stand up, I wouldn't be surprised if Dakota actually got a submission too. She's been working on her ground game. So I think Dakota might have one up on the striking, but might have one up on the ground too. She might take a page out of what Bishop did too, and land a couple knees to the body, trip and take her down, get to her back. So yeah, I think that she's got she with who she's training with too. I think she has those opportunities. Aaron might say, I think. Okay, I read that. Paul said, "Combo, did you see Aaron and Fatima at the car? I gotta ask, are they a thing or just friends or training partners? Honestly, don't know. Personally, I don't know. I have no idea, man. I really don't know about that stuff. Like, and I ain't saying nothing until something comes out. I'm just saying, Paul, like that's their business. To each their own. I personally, when I see Aaron, I don't see that in her. Fatima, I think she's, kind of a tomboyish girl. I definitely see that in her, but hey, that's her, as far as Aaron goes, I just kind of see her as a girly girl. But times change today, times change today. And, they're training partners, Paul. That's all I say. That's all I say. They're training partners. Because I've had some other people ask that. And I mean, I was trying to wonder if people knew something that I didn't know. So, I'll remain neutral in that. Colossus said, "Do you think Julian Velasquez is a challenge for Dakota?" I like Velasquez, but I don't really think she's like a huge challenge. I think Dakota's offense might be a little too much for Velasquez at times. I think Velasquez kind of sits back. Like where Denise Kielholtz was thriving, I think Dakota might actually have a little bit too much fire for her, man. I think Dakota would be more dominant in that fight against Velasquez, unless Velasquez can counter well, but Dakota can throw volume and she can hurt you. So yeah. Yeah, Paul said a true. Yeah. Yeah. I don't, like I said, that's there when we talk about that type of stuff, unless it's out there, we'll talk about, hey, that's their business. But I feel bad for Velasquez. It's a tough streak. She's right. She's on right now. It is, man. That wasn't very nice of the PFL to set Velasquez up in a Liz Carmouche fight for a third time. That wasn't very nice of them. I'm gonna just put it that way. Y'all was wrong for that. All right.